Thor here, and I have a rather special episode for you today. Ice Cream Canyon. This spot is a really cool spot that had a surprisingly large amount of features. It is relatively close to State Line Marina and very easy to navigate to. This spot could easily be a great first place for a first-time houseboater or for someone unfamiliar with Lake Powell. Landing conditions are easy to identify, and this spot should be able to take any houseboat and most cruisers. This spot will work for shaft-driven vessels. Shoreline conditions were excellent and consisted of packed fine sand. Beach conditions were deep soft sand, but there were a lot of thorns mixed in. I recommend some kind of shoe here. Water quality was not the best, but it wasn't too bad to swim in. This is because of the runoff nearby. The water temperature here was higher than most places, at about 5 degrees higher. I did swim a lot while I was here. So did my dog. I found some large trash like this old generator frame left on the beach, but don't worry, I picked it up, so you won't have to deal with it. There was a large variety of flora in this location. There was also some weeping rock walls, which made for a nice cooling effect, especially if you sat next to them in the shade. There was a small creek nearby that held an oasis behind it. For reference, I did an ambient sound video on this creek, link in the description. The amount of flora here was truly shocking, and my dog was just as surprised by it as I was when I first saw it. I haven't seen anything like this before. The spot was just barely out of sight of the main beach. If I wouldn't have gone to investigate, I would have easily missed it. It goes to show, sometimes beauty is just out of sight. Wild grass, shrubs, and native plants were growing in the spring and appeared to be thriving against the tumbleweeds that plague Lake Powell. I did not expect to see flowers here either. This place was very easy on the eyes. In the stream there were some small larvae, probably one of the species of gnats that live in Lake Powell. It was really neat to see them like this, as I've never seen them in their juvenile stage. I really have to emphasize this place was just out of sight from the beach. It really felt as though it was hiding from everything as best it could. I did a little bit of hiking in the area and made my way around some of the rims of the canyons, and I'm happy to say the views did not disappoint. But I should note, be cautious if you hike near these cliffs, as the sandstone is a little soft and one can easily lose their footing. While I was here, several groups of kayaks, runabouts, and PWC made their way through here. This place is a popular spot, and a lot of folks journey to it. Considering the time of year, I was genuinely surprised I got it all to myself. It is normal for there to be multiple groups of people here, but just to be clear, I'm not complaining. I prefer solitude if possible. Many of the kayakers and paddleboarders would stay and take a long break to cool down and swim for a moment. I did not feel like there was much, if any, privacy here. If you are not into hiking, the view from the beach was still rather impressive. There were a lot of jumping fish here, and I did witness an angler catch one of them. Inside the vessel, the views were equally impressive. Canyon walls did not offer the most shade, as they simply were not tall enough, and the beach pushes the boat back a decent amount. However, the shade reached this spot about an hour before sunset, when things were at their hottest. This was a relief and enabled me to play outside without worry of sunburn for about an hour before the sunset, in which I fished, as my luck with fishing is I did not catch anything, not even a bite. I made a sunset video here if you're interested. The link will be in the description. Overall, the view was somewhat obscured, but that is to be expected when in a canyon. The waves here were minimal and the boat was very comfortable. Again, this is a great spot for folks who are not experienced captains in Lake Powell, or who are driving a boat for the first time. The lack of navigation obstacles combined with the ease of finding this spot makes it extremely convenient, and while I will admit Ice Cream Canyon is not as nice as it once was, it is still a very desirable and beautiful place to be. So without taking any more of your time, this is Thor, signing out.